volunteering in Chile, teaming up for mission in Kenya, and church planting in Tokyo. All this and much more coming up next. Welcome to Mission 360. I'm Gary Krause. Today's program is coming to you from the world's largest city, some 38 million people in Greater Tokyo here in Japan. And for the past few days, I've been attending meetings where we've been looking and planning strategy for starting new groups of believers right here in Tokyo and also among different people groups around the world. On today's program, we're going to be looking at mission in various parts of the world. We're going to look at mission right here in Tokyo. But first up, we travel to the United States and doing the next right thing in the community.
As many countries face the task of helping refugees adapt to new lives, one may ask, what can I do to help? Greg and Amy considered that same question after Greg's grandfather moved from their house in the United States. They wondered how they could put their now available basement to use.
As I was praying about what to do with our empty in-law apartment in our house, the thought came to me, we're moving Grandpa out into assisted living. This space we could rent and make some money. But at the same time, I heard about needs of refugees who are needing homes. So I contacted our Adventist Community Services leader here in the Chesapeake Conference, and I said, do you know of anyone who has been bussed up from the border of Mexico who are homeless and they need a place to stay for a while? He immediately called me and he said, thank you for offering, yes.
Their decision came with many questions. Was the family Christian? Did they drink or smoke? Were they honest people? If there were children, would they be well behaved? The information they received was limited.
The only thing that we knew was that they were from Venezuela, that it was a family of 4, and we knew their names and we knew the girls' ages, and I think that was all that we knew.
That's all we knew.
And that they were going to be homeless if somebody didn't offer them a place to stay. And so we prayed about it, deliberated for a number of hours, actually, as you can imagine. And finally, one of our dear friends, one of our close church members, close friends, he always says, do the next right thing. And that popped into my mind, and I thought, do the next right thing. What is the next right thing? Well, the next right thing, the next decision that we can make is, are we going to take them or are we not? And so we decided prayerfully, yes, we will extend hospitality to them.
People ask us, how could you do this? It's such a big thing. And we have spent 20 years involved in mission work in Asia. And I think the way we do this is just, like you said earlier, doing the next right thing, step by step. God stretches you if you are willing to be stretched.
Like Greg and Amy, church groups and individuals in different cities around the globe are serving their cities by providing help to refugees in different ways. In Vienna, Austria, a center of influence offers German classes and assists refugees with filling out government forms. The center also has a clothing distribution program. And once a week, individuals can come in to have a nourishing meal and pick up food supplies for their families. In the United States, a refugee ministry in Clarkston, Georgia, helps families when they first come into the country by providing them with basic food items. They also provide them with furniture and mattresses. The Adventist Learning Center in Beirut, Lebanon, serves Syrian refugee children. Many of the students have experienced traumatic events, and the staff aims to provide them with a stable learning environment. The center interacts with the parents too, by offering literacy and English classes in the evenings. The staff at the Adventist University in Medellin, Colombia, started a special initiative that assists migrant families in starting their own small businesses. Equipment given to the families included ovens, sewing machines, mobile food carts, and printers. The university teachers provided training on how to use the equipment, how to sell the products, and how to manage their business. Fleeing to a new country is a stressful process that involves language barriers, financial challenges, and cultural adjustment. Prayerfully consider how you can help the foreigner in your community. Visit the Mission to the City's website for more ideas.
So I encourage you that if you want to make a difference in your community to show God's love, just do the next right thing, right, Amy?
Right. That's right.
Step by step, and God will help you and guide you and show you what it is.
My guests today here in Tokyo are Marume and Nene, mother and daughter, attorney and student, correct?
Mm-hmm. Yes.
And both of you have been involved in mission here in Tokyo.
Mm-hmm.
First of all, tell me, what is the challenge of sharing Christianity in this country?
Actually, in Japan, the Christian population is less than 1%. So, and most of the Japanese are not so used to the Christianity. So, but you know, they are used to have like a wedding ceremony. Like majority, 70% of the couple marry in a Christian way. So
yes.
they have some knowledge. So actually, it's kind of a challenge that the population is low, but we have a base that we can reach out.
Yes, so although Japanese are not actively opposed to Christianity, it's just like it's not part of their life.
Yes,
yeah.
correct. Yes. So you know, I'm not sure if you know that the Japan value the harmony.
Yes.
So there's a protocol in society that you cannot be so outstanding, or you shouldn't be too different from others.
Right.
And then it have to be polite and not to express your feeling. So I mean, Christianity is because it's a small population. So probably the Christian, you know, in Japan are not so, you know, open
Right.
to reach out in the society. So that is a struggle that we are facing.
Right, so to be a Christian who then also worships on the seventh day, you are moving outside of that harmony that people expect, right?
Exactly, yes.
Yeah.
But you know, of course, God, you know, well, I mean, I attended the Ted Wilson's service 4 years ago. I mean, he was here for 3 weeks, and then, you know, personally delivered a message in every day, almost every day. So that really gave me the courage to, you know, more serve God and then reach out to the unreached population in Japan.
Yes. So Ted Wilson, of course, is the president of the General Conference of Seventh-day Adventists who came here to Tokyo some time ago. So, Nene, what has inspired you to be involved in church planting?
Yeah, he inspired me to have the passion
Yes.
and to lead the people, and especially for me, young people, because most of my friends is non-Christian people, and I really wanted to evangelize them. And so we had a lot of activities in Yotsuya Church, yeah, mainly by the young people.
To invite your non-Christian
Yes.
friends to?
Yes,
Yeah.
and also the Christian friends too.
As
and
well.
Yeah, as well. Yeah.
Yeah. So you've been very passionate about caring for the young people of the church. Why is that so important to you?
You know, as you know, that the pandemic with the COVID-19, you know, we don't almost we are not like providing a potluck anymore. So I put them in, you know, to the lunch, you know, and then invite them and listening to the young people. And you know, because they are isolated from, you know, the society, and also that far from the living in you know, from their parents. So I actually gave them the opportunity to get together and then, you know, connect each other. So I think the young people are very open to the new idea, and also that you know, they are really motivated to try something new, which is church planting.
Yes.
So that's really motivating. Also that, you know, I have daughters.
Yes.
And so, you know, that makes me really motivated
Of
to
course,
reach out.
yes.
Yeah.
Now, when we're talking about church planting here, we're not talking about planting churches in buildings. What are we talking about?
Yes, you know, I think the most important thing is our heart, you know, the faith is the most important thing. And I think we should organize the place that young people can be more relaxed and with joy, and we can gather really comfortable.
Yes.
Right.
Comfortably, yeah.
So they're not threatened by walking into an established church building.
Yes, yeah. I think we should at first making that environment. Yeah.
Yes.
That's important.
So the Yotsuya Church is a very small church. It's usually like a 20 regular attendance, and it's kind of house type church. And so we rented like second floor of the church, and then started some activities like English program and some like workshops in English. So they really like to come together. So that was really successful this year.
Wonderful. Can you tell me the story of somebody who you've been able to connect with, to perhaps invite to these activities?
Well, we have like several non-Christian youth, and they started attending those activities, even that they are not attending the regular, actually the sermon.
Yes.
So they feel like they get like really relaxed to come to the church. It's not the building of its atmosphere, right?
Right.
So I think now they are really interested in participating activity, and some of them are really willing to serve with their talent, like music and English and art. So I think it's very exciting.
Wonderful. So to me, you're putting Christ's method into practice. You're mingling, you're showing sympathy, you're ministering to needs, and you're leading people to Jesus.
I hope so. Yes, it's always God's, I think mercy, and God guided us to something it's beyond our imagination. We didn't expect this to be this expanding movement, and and Japanese people are sometimes isolated. They are not fitted in the society expectation. So, but in Jesus, I think that God loves them how they are, what they are. So I would like to really deliver this message to more people, unreached population in Tokyo. And Japanese people, even though they are polite and like good manner and everything, but I think we have to be more like motivated to go out and proclaim that we are Christian and the joy of our heart, by Jesus.
Wonderful.
Christ.
Thank you both for sharing with us today.
Thank you very much.
And viewers at home, Tokyo, Greater Tokyo, some 38 million people. What a mission field, but it's wonderful to see what's happening here through an initiative called Mission Unusual Tokyo, which is focusing on starting new groups of believers across the city. We'll be right back after this break. Welcome back to Tokyo, and behind me here you can see a wall of sake barrels. This is an alcoholic drink that has traditionally played an important role in connecting people with the gods in traditional religions here in Japan. Well, next up we visit a young woman who is a volunteer from Brazil working in Chile.
Let's find out when somebody goes to the mission field why they went and what they're doing. I'm here with Juliana, who is currently serving as a volunteer missionary in a separate country from your own. Where are you and where are you from originally?
Yes, right now I'm living in Chile, which is a country with such different nature from my country. I'm from Brazil, São Paulo, a big, huge city, and now I'm living in a lovely, small church city there in Chile.
So it's a cultural difference, even though it's in South America.
Yes, especially the food was my first shock impression. I was missing my bread, Brazilian bread. I arrived there. It's so different, the food, the people, the way how they approach the same situations we do every day. They have a different way to do those things. And then when you realize, okay, it's different, you have to take it slow down, take a deeply look at why they're doing that. It's okay, we're the same indeed.
Absolutely. Now, so what is it that you're doing there?
Oh, that's amazing. I love to talk about this because I am a colporteur since I was 14. I work with colporteur.
Since you were 14, you're a colporteur, going door, okay.
Yes, I pay all my university, all my college with colporteur money. So since 14 until 24, when I graduated as a nurse, I've been serving this ministry. So when I graduated, I said, okay, God, let's make mission. And I didn't have any experience with anything else, just Canvas. And then I saw on SVA a call was completely mine, was to serve as a Canvas leader in Chile. So right there I have a team with 8 co-potters. And my daily work is go out with them, approach the houses, teach them how to sail more, make some events to increase their spirituality. So I work with those pretty lovely co-potters in my field in this lovely city in Chile.
Now you have also gone overseas before with another organization.
Yes.
Where was that and what were you doing there?
Yes, 2008 I took a break on my college to spend 6 months on Philippines, an amazing country who look like my Brazil. And they have this lady ministry when they teach English to little kids on the island to prepare them to future and the good graduate school. So I've been working with little kids in this island, Mindoro, which I learned a lot about how can we preach the gospel with so many little details. We don't need too much. A smile, a hug, a new word that will teach for our kids, they will be completely grateful for the rest of their life. They're small things.
So now the question everybody wonders is, when did you first become interested in mission? Was there anything in particular in your life or that somebody else did that made you say, I want to go?
Yes, there was. I'm a book person. When I was like a teenager, 12, 13, I don't remember the title, but I remember they had one book talking about one missionary who has this small airplane who came to the South America and the Amazonia in special. And that book was like, that's what I want, God, for me. A life with adventures, knowing different places, and the most important is putting the gospel in first. I want to preach the gospel in foreigner lands. And this book was for me my dream. And I kept this in my heart during college because I have to work through Canvas. And when I graduated, I say now it's time to do my part and the mission.
And you know, those early missionaries that came into South America, you know, today we look at Brazil, so many Adventists, and now Brazil is looking to the unreached areas of the world, and that's wonderful. So do you have a story that you could share with us about something that you've experienced?
I do love the way how God is always using us. And what I love so much in Canvas, and we don't need to speak too much, we can see the Holy Ghost doing what we think that is our job, but it's not, it's His job. When I first arrived in Tauca, with the city which I'm working right now, I went out, some weeks later, I went to work with a co-potter. I don't know which one was more nervous, him or me. My Spanish wasn't good enough to stand in a conversation.
That's right, because it's a different language as well.
Completely different. It looks like, but it's completely different. So he said, you first. I said, me first? Okay. Went in our first house. It was very simple neighborhood, very lovely. And then I started talking first. I couldn't understand what the guy was saying, but I was always smiling, saying, hi, hello, I'm still here, I'm paying attention on you. And he didn't pay attention to health. He didn't care about his health. And then he said, I like weed. My life is weed, I like weed, and that's what I do.
Weed, not wheat.
Smoke weed.
Smoking, okay,
Smoking
yes.
weed, that's what I like. And then we stopped to talk about health. We didn't talk about Jesus. We started a deeply conversation about smoking weed. And it took about 1 hour talking about this. And I was making so many questions. And after this hour, he said, I can't afford those books. They're too much for me. And I'm not going using this because it's not important for me. And I said, it's okay, but there is a little one. I don't know how, there's a little one which is, I don't know how to say this, A Conflicto de los Siglos, the last book for Ellen White.
Okay, Conflict of Ages?
Yes, thank you. So there is this little one. It's not that expensive, but you can buy this one to send us to college. And he said, I like you. so I'm going to buy this one just to send you to college. You're a good person. You're not a cup? I said, I'm not a cup. So I'm going to buy this one just to help you in college. So after 1 hour talking about smoking weed, he brought this book, and I'm sure that God will make something with this book at this place. This book can be something to change all the neighborhood, and one day, one special person, one special moment will open it up and will change their life. So we don't have to speak about Jesus all the time. We may go through different conversations, approach it for so many different ways, but God is always finding one way, then He make His work. We just need to be there.
There has to be a start. We plant the seeds in the Holy Spirit.
Exactly.
Wonderful. Just very briefly, if you could give advice to somebody who says, well, I'm thinking about it, I'm not sure, what advice would you give them?
Oh, I could say there is always a place for you. I'm living and working, serving with a partner. She's a Brazilian too, and she's so shy. She don't talk too much. She's always on her desk doing her job. And I am a speaker. I'm always speaking all the time. So there is a place for you. You don't need to worry about what you are going to do, how you are going to do your job. Just trust that God has a call for you. Don't worry about this. Just put yourself in the hands of God and let Him take control of all of this.
I love that. Put yourself in the hands of God and let Him take control.
Amen.
Juliana, thank you very much for talking with us.
It's okay. Thank you so much. And God bless you and your ministry, and I hope to see you around or in heaven.
Wonderful. Thank you.
Next up, we travel to Kenya to learn about teaming up for mission.
In one of the driest regions of Kenya, a church caught the vision of starting new groups of believers among unreached people groups near their community. One of the most unreached people of Kenya are the Samburu people.
One church there called Isiolo Central Point was interested in starting congregations among the people groups around.
Two women, Rose and Mary, spearheaded the project and encouraged local church members to raise funds to send out a church planter to the Samburu.
And then he started reaching out to them with the word of God, doing Bible study, and some of them accepted the gospel, the three angels' messages.
After a while, Global Mission provided funds so the church planter could continue as a global mission pioneer. Soon, Jasmine Jacobs, founder of Reach International, got involved. She visited the area and saw the need for a church building.
And so she thought of, instead of starting just building a church, if she built a school there, that school would also act as a church. As the children learn how to read and write, then on Sabbath they would be coming there to worship.
Reach International built 3 classrooms on land donated by the local community. They also saw that women had to walk for hours to get water, so they drilled a borehole well, and before long a solar-powered pump and reservoir were added. The school and water attracted more people. The school grew, and so did the church. Maranatha Volunteers International also saw the need and built a church with enough room so people could worship freely. They also enhanced the water system and put in a garden and irrigation system. All these church organizations, working together over time, kept mission moving forward. The local church, the conference, Global Mission, and supporting ministries like Reach International and Maranatha Volunteers International all did their part.
And so my advice is that we should, as much as we can, bring any organizations which want to support global mission. They want to support the mission of the church. Bring all these organizations together. Some will drill water, others will build classrooms, others will build clinics and health centers. If we can bring together these resources, the work of God can advance very, very fast.
Well, thank you so much for joining us on today's program, and I hope that you've been inspired and challenged by our Mission 360-degree view of mission around the world. We've been here in Tokyo, a city of more than 38 million people in Greater Tokyo, and it's just thrilling to see what's happening as this focus on starting new groups of believers in the city is starting to take hold. And I want to thank you so much for your continuing support of mission that makes it possible for things such as this to happen. Thank you for your continuing prayers for frontline workers. Thank you for your donations to Global Mission. And thank you so much for your personal involvement. Well, for Adventist Mission, I'm Gary Krause, and I hope that you can join me next time right here on Mission 360.